Hello, let's talk about books. I'm kneeling on the floor, I don't know what to do with my arms. Hello, my name's Elizabeth, and today I wanted to do a booktuber tag, which I do not do very often, but this one just excited me. I saw Ariel from the Books Unbound podcast do it. She's the one who actually made this tag. She did it on her podcast, and then I saw Kelly do it, and I was already planning to do it, and it's just the time of year, right? So let's do a tag. All the questions will be down below, but I'm going to put them on the screen as well. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Please don't remind me of that. That's actually quite rude. There's a few I've got going. I'm currently listening to Middlemarch by George Eliot, and I'm sure that will be done by the end of the year because I'm loving it. So I was just randomly invited to a buddy read for Middlemarch, and I'm so glad because it is so good. I will have more to say when I'm finished it. So I'm anticipating that will get done, but it does need to be done. I'm also technically reading this one, Ulysses by James Joyce. I'm that much through. So it's not going to happen this year, but no, it is definitely not happening this year. This was supposed to be my chunker classic for the year, but Middlemarch will be instead. And then finally, I think all my books are going to fall. Technically, I am still reading this bad boy, the Bible. I'm listening to David Suchet narrate the Bible. So he's reading the King James Version. This is the new Revised Standard Version. So there's a bit of difference in the language, and I'm comparing and contrasting, but also I forget to put it on. Like if you dedicated yourself to a little bit a day, you could definitely get the Bible done in a reasonable period of time. I just forget to put it on because it's not like a super catchy, compelling read. And so I think I'm still in Genesis. I'm pretty sure I'm still in Genesis, but I must be towards the end. Anyway, that is an ongoing project. I think the Bible would be more achievable if you were in a study group, which, as I'm not a religious person, I'm not in a Bible study group. All right, question 2. Do you have a seasonal book to transition into the end of the year? Now, Ariel's question is actually autumnal because she lives in Canada. I do not live in the Northern Hemisphere, so I changed it to seasonal. But spring and summer feel like a happy time and exciting and hopeful time, and that's a book full of humor and whimsy, and that's not a thing that I enjoy reading. So instead, maybe I am better off with cozy autumnal vibes. So what would probably if I was going to do anything to get in the mood, it would be my Cadfael books. Let me move that. This is most of the Brother Cadfael mysteries. He is a medieval monk in England and gets roped into solving murders, solving mysteries. Just a lot of fun and a lot of cozy vibes, but also found family and contentment in yourself vibes. But also I have, where are you? Up here. A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, which does also need to be read. And it's tiny, that's totally achievable. And apparently this is cozy vibes as well. So probably by the end of the year I should do that. I just realised with all this moving about I'm doing that the focus is probably bad. I'm sorry. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Now, obviously, I don't have these on my shelves to show you because I've got them on pre-order. The first one is Javinia Evans' Shadow Baron, which is the second in her Notorious Sorcerer trilogy. It's actually The Burnished City, I think is the name of the trilogy. I have the first one here. I've got 2 copies of it because she sent me an ARC. And the other thing that I'm waiting for is called House of Open Wounds by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Now, this man is a machine. He writes more than Brandon Sanderson. He is a robot. And this is the second in what's probably only going to be 2 books that follows The City of Last Chances, which I will link to my review of that. It was really interesting, that one, and I'm pleased to read another book in this universe especially because there's like alternate worlds that I hope we get to explore. So House of Open Wounds, that comes out in November, I think. Shadow Baron is the 14th of November in most places, although print might be later because COVID printing issues. Alrighty, what are 3 books you want to read by the end of the year? Right, so I'm in a bunch of challenge and buddy reads, and we should really make a start on them. So Kelly at Curatorially Yours is hosting a Dewey Decimal challenge this year, and I have 2 books left to read on that. So for the 500s, which is science, I'm going to read The Matter of Everything by Susie Sheehy. This is a history of physics, I'm pretty sure. And then for the 700s, which is arts, I want to read This Is the Noise That Keeps Me Awake by Garbage, who is my absolute favourite band in the whole world. Why have I not read this beautiful beast before? I just haven't made the time. So this nice big coffee table book is going to be read for this challenge. But also, I'm part of so many Storygraph buddy reads. Now, I know this is what I wanted. This is living the dream, but still, they do need to be read at some point. So I have... Can you see that? No. Nova by Samuel R. Delaney as a buddy read. Dubliners by James Joyce. Now, I know that the person I'm buddy reading this with has read it, and I can see that they've left comments, so I really should. Ulysses. Also a buddy read. Yeah. All the way over here. Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed I need to get to. Kazuo Ishiguro, The Buried Giant is on the list. I have a giant pile on the floor now. I forgot how to alphabet up here. The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. Flights by, I didn't look at how to pronounce her name, Olga Tokarczuk. Yeah, and then Middlemarch, which I don't own a physical copy of. That's also on my buddy read list. The good thing about buddy reads on Storygraph is that it doesn't alert you that other people in the buddy read have started the book or are leaving comments until you've also started the book. So I can see when I go into the actual read that people I'm buddy reading with have been leaving comments, but it hasn't notified me that or nagged me or made me feel guilty in any way for not getting to these books. So that's something that I really, really appreciate from Storygraph. So if you are also overwhelmed by buddy reads, I hope that makes you feel better. You don't even have to think about it until you start reading the book. And if you're a mood reader, like me, then it can wait. It can wait. The next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book for the year? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think it would be Flights, although it's quite long. This one, the Man Book International in 2018. It's translated from Polish, I want to say. Yes. And if this isn't my favourite book of the year, it will be her other book that I read earlier in the year. She's just amazing. And I'm hoping this is also amazing. And the last question here is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Obviously. Who doesn't make plans well in advance? So next year, there's a couple of exciting books coming out. Stuart Turton, who writes fantasy mysteries. He wrote The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and The Devil in the Dark Water. He has a new one coming in March called The Last Murder at the End of the World, and I'm very excited for that one. I love his mysteries so far. For my big chunky classic, obviously, Ulysses is hanging over my head, but I would like to read Anna Karenina. So if you would also like to read Anna Karenina, I have to decide on a translation and then buddy read it with me because that makes everything better. I'm going to keep going with the Wheel of Time. I'm up to book 8 and you will see my review for that in a couple of weeks. I haven't picked up the next one yet, so I needed a break from Robert Jordan, but that's maybe something I could achieve next year. We've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 6 books. I can't do 6 books next year. So I'll do some of them. And then also, in theory, at the end of next year, Brandon Sanderson will release the 5th book in his Stormlight Archive epic fantasy series. So maybe I should do a reread of the 4 preceding because they're all 1,000 pages each. I was also speaking to a friend about reading The Expanse, and maybe I need to gather together all those people who haven't read it yet and do a buddy read for the first book of The Expanse, which is Leviathan Wakes. It's just out of shot up there. So anyway, I definitely have things to be going on with, including literally everything in my buddy reads pile and literally everything on these shelves. That's a TBR. But there's always something new and exciting to read, and I'm excited to be back next year telling you about them once I've read them. So there you are, my end of the year book tag. It was fun to actually sit down and think about what needs to be read and what will be read, and the reasons why I've been avoiding reading some of these books on my challenges, my buddy reads. But I've been having fun doing other things, haven't I? Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.